Joining us now from the Police Federation is Hayley Aley. What a great name. Hayley, thank you so much for joining us. It's really interesting seeing Helen there, and great that she's talking so honestly. You know, this is a police officer at the top of the, doing an incredibly difficult job. And what are you going to do that will make a difference for people like her?
Unfortunately, Helen's case is not unique, and you will probably see it mirrored across every police force across England and Wales, so 43 different forces. So what was really important, not only for the Police Federation, but for other key people in regards to policing family, was that we got some real standardised support for people. Ultimately, we don't want the menopause to be a taboo subject. It should be as natural a conversation as pregnancy or maternity rights. So the key is to start there. It's brilliant what's happening in GMP. We want to make sure that that happens across all forces, so that nobody has to go through what Helen's already spoke about, and that they can feel supported in the workplace.
Do you think the police are leading the way on this? Trying to, at least.
Do you know, for the emergency services, I'd like to think the NHS are probably ahead of us. But I'd like to think the police are waking up to the fact that we've got an ageing workforce. We've got female officers and staff that are working well into their 40s and 50s on frontline roles. A lot of officers are working in response roles, so still wearing the body armour, etc. So I'd like to think we've woke up to the fact, and that all police forces are now thinking this is really important.
We've had people get in touch, not specifically about police, but about uniforms. Will there be changes? Will people be able to adapt things?
Yes, and what we're trying to encourage is that in some forces already, they're looking at more appropriate undergarments, so the tops we wear under body armour, to make sure that they're thinner, the more breathable materials, and they're better, and that there's that flexibility as well. So if you're not front facing, so you come back into the workplace, you can remove your body armour, and you can actually get some ventilation into the offices, and you've got that flexibility to think about the hours that you work and the role that you're actually doing in those most severe cases where people are really struggling.
Do you think in the past it was more a case of sort of just get on with it?
To be brutally honest, I'd still say there is a stigma attached to it across the police forces, and there's that feeling of, just get on with it, because you most vitally need to give that response to the public and ensure that the public are protected. But ultimately, if we don't invest in the people that are doing that, then that's not going to happen.
One of the things Helen said, and I'm sure this is echoed amongst other people as well, is sort of admitting to it, and it does feel like admitting to it, is your concern will be seen as a weakness.
Yeah.
How do you change people's concerns and actually that perhaps sometimes being a reality?
I think it's about education. I think it's about normalising, as I said. If we can make it, as Helen spoke about, that people can actually report that their sickness absence or struggles that they're having are down to the menopause, that's the first vital step. That isn't available in all forces yet, so we want to make sure that that happens. I think then it's about normalising it and educating everybody, especially the line managers, which is what this guidance hopefully will do. So ensuring that the line managers feel confident that they can help and give some flexibility to officers and to staff, but also strategic leaders to make sure they realise how important it is.
And I'm presuming that it is one of the things is to keep people in the police force as well.
Absolutely.
How many people do you think might be leaving?
Well, we've just run one of the first national surveys across the policing family with officers and staff to find out the statistics of people that have even considered leaving. And 2 out of every 10 that responded to us said they considered leaving the service because it was getting so difficult for them.
Because of menopause?
Exactly. Gosh. But what we don't know, obviously, is those that actually went through with that, because you don't know the reasons as to why they left. But I have to say, I do suspect, with all the research that we've done, that is the cause that people have left the service in the past.
And like every industry, you just try and hold on to the best people, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Invested in people that have got some fantastic careers ahead of them, have been working with us for 15 to 20 years, and I think it's really sad if we lose all that expertise, and the organisations and policing lose that expertise for something that can be really quite, really easy, flexible arrangements to put in place to support people.